Hello, welcome to Oxford, and a particularly warm welcome from the Social Sciences Researcher Development team. I'm Eleanor Pritchard, and I'm the Researcher Development Coordinator for Social Science students in Oxford, which means I'm responsible for looking after the training and development programme that will supplement and complement the programme offered by your department. Unfortunately, I have a back-to-school cold for my 6-year-old at the moment, so I'm feeling a bit croaky and a bit scratchy in my throat. So apologies in advance if this is less than perfect delivery. In this short recording, I'd like to tell you what we offer, how we communicate it to you, and how you can get involved. And I'm going to finish with 5 very specific practical suggestions to help you get settled in as quickly as possible and start getting the benefits of the support we can offer you. So first of all, a little bit of background. The Researcher Development team sits within the Social Sciences division, and that's an overarching sort of umbrella which encompasses all the departments, the faculty and the centres of the social sciences within Oxford. This is really good news for you because it means that with no further action on your part, you're already entitled to access all of the resources and support that we provide free of charge. We do this primarily through a term card. This is Oxford Speak for a termly programme, which is published at the start of the term. In our case, that's published on the Monday of the week before the start of term. In Oxford Speak, the week before the start of term is called Week Naught or Naughth Week. So you will receive the programme as a PDF attachment to your email on the Monday of Naughth Week each term. And the booking opens from the Friday of Naughth Week each term, ready for courses and events to start the following week. We'll come back to that in a little bit. So the programme that we provide is primarily anchored around transferable skills training. It's not discipline-specific training. That would be things you'd look for within your department or with your department's support. So we offer courses around communication skills, presenting your work to different audiences, collaborating outside academia, around how to prepare for fieldwork, to develop your teaching skills while you're in Oxford, around ethics, from practical ethics all the way to the QREC formal ethics application that you'll have to do if you're doing research involving human participants. And we offer a range of networking and sort of social events as well to help you meet people from outside your department. So it's a rich mix each term. There are some features of the term card, some events, some courses, which are so popular that they run every term. So if you're in any doubt or you would like to do a course but it just doesn't work for you this term, always have a look on our website and we'll indicate how frequently we run that specific course. If you haven't already come to this sort of realization, you will very shortly. Oxford is a highly decentralized institution. That creates a lot of opportunity, but the slight downside is that it can be quite tricky to navigate in the early stages of your association with it. So the important thing to remember is simply that unlike most other institutions, there's rarely only one place you can look for something. And that is as true of training and development as it is of the libraries, for example. So the structure of training and development for doctoral students is that I have a counterpart in each of the other 3 divisions. If your research sits on a sort of borderline between, for example, engineering and social sciences, or if it sits on a borderline between humanities and social sciences, I would strongly suggest that as well as consulting the social sciences term card, you also have a look at the term cards for the relevant division. And we have reciprocal agreements in place that it's usually possible to attend a course offered by another division if it's relevant to your research. But if you've any doubts about that, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me. The contact the web pages for the other divisions are linked through from our website, so you'll be able to find them and check through from there. There are other training providers in the university as well. I've already mentioned the libraries. They run a terrific program of iSkills courses every term. That's well worth a look and can be linked through, accessed via our website or directly through the Bodleian website. There's also the IT Learning Centre and the Language Centre, again, connections and links on our website, which offers specific technical courses, which are quite self-explanatory, but well worth a look around to see what they've got and whether it might be useful to you. So those are the training providers. How do we communicate with you? I've already mentioned a couple of the ways. You're watching this video on our website, so you're partway there already. This is a growing repository of resources and asynchronous support that is support that's available to you at all times. We've got a lot backed up that's waiting to be published over the course of Michaelmas and beyond. So do keep checking back occasionally and see what new stuff we've got. We will, of course, alert you to new stuff via the newsletter, which I've already mentioned. That comes to you by email once a week during term time. So the first contact from us at the beginning of term is usually that 0th week term card mail out, and then a notification that bookings are available. And then from the first week of term through to week 8, sometimes 9, if there's enough going on, we will send you a weekly newsletter. I need to ask your help for something with this. The newsletter is sent to you using a piece of software that helps us drag everything together and get all the links in properly. But the downside of that is that sometimes different departments, and we've never consistently been able to identify which ones, can filter it as spam. So could I ask you in the first couple of weeks of term to check for yourself in your Oxford email address that you are receiving a weekly newsletter from Researcher Development? That will be the return address, Researcher Development. And if it's going anywhere other than your inbox, could you drag it back to your inbox and add it to your safe sender list, or click this is not spam, or whatever your specific browser asks you to do. And that will make sure you don't miss anything from us, because we don't want you to miss out on opportunities owing to a technical glitch. So that'd be great. Thank you very much. The other thing we do occasionally is send out something we call an e-shot. This is a short, specific email about something, usually about just one thing. So if a couple of people have had to cancel on a fully booked course and we want to let you know there are some late places available, that's how we would let you know about that. Also, if we receive something from elsewhere within the university, which is highly relevant to you, we would send that to you probably by an e-shot as well. So do keep a lookout. There's a weekly email, and then there's the intermittent specific e-shots that come out. And then finally, to mention, on our website, there's a notice board section where we post details of opportunities we hear about, which are from further afield. And that might be conferences, or it might be placement opportunities, but it's worth keeping an eye on, just to make sure that you're on top of anything that might appeal to you. So those are the ways that we communicate with you. In terms of our delivery, pre-COVID, everything was face-to-face, which was super. Since COVID, we've been delivering online. And although the university is going back to primarily face-to-face teaching this term, we've had to take the difficult decision to keep our training program online for this term, at least, while we see how things go. It's to do with logistics and room bookings and those sorts of things. So we're hoping to get back to face-to-face as much as possible, as quickly as possible, but we have to do it in a way that allows us to treat our trainers with the sort of terms and respect that they deserve, and we can't change them around at short notice. So online for Michaelmas, but hopefully face-to-face as much as possible thereafter. That said, there are a couple of face-to-face opportunities in Michaelmas, and I will come to those in my 5 points at the end. So do join in as much as possible, as much as circumstances and interest allows you to. One thing I'd like to say is that I don't receive any information about personal support plans that might be in place for you. If you have a personal support plan in place, or you've got specific needs when attending a course, please feel free to drop me a confidential line in advance and let me know how I can make sure we best support you. It's obviously our intention to be as open and welcoming and accessible to everybody as possible. but please don't assume that we'll know what you need in advance. It's helpful if you can let us know. We'll do everything we can to make sure that the experience is as useful and rewarding to you as possible. Thank you. So then on to the 5 things that I'd suggest you do quickly to get started as soon as possible, engaging with us. Excuse me, it's honey and lemon, it's keeping my throat going. Okay, so number 1 is we're having an induction welcome webinar, which is in the middle of North Week. I think it's a Thursday. If you could sign up for that, come along, that would be fantastic. We're going to have 2 associate heads of division here, Professor Alex Betts and Susan James Raleigh are going to come and talk about their respective areas of responsibility. And we've also got 3 really great existing students are going to come along and share with you what they wish they'd known when they started in Oxford. Really great way of picking up tips and maybe shortcutting some of those things that take quite a long time to work out if you're trying to do it all on your own. So that's the Thursday of North Week. After that, in week 1, we have several iterations of a short workshop type course called Get Your DPhil Off to a Flying Start. And that's a course, a session that I lead. And we talk through there any sort of any stray ends that are hanging over from people's inductions. Sometimes things haven't quite clicked together or something's not making sense. We talk about ways of getting your relationship with your supervisor off to a good start, about your expectations, about Oxford expectations. It's just a really open, relaxed, easy space where we can sort of get some of that stuff out and share it and think it through together. So number 2 on my list is please come along to a Flying Start session. They're all on Teams, so easy to join. And if you book through the website, you'll get the link. That's great. Thank you. Number 3, we've already covered. Look out for emails from us and add us to your safe sender list. Number 4, I've touched on at the top, but I'll say it again here because it really bears repeating. Have a look at the programme within North Week before the Friday, mark anything you want to attend and book it as early as possible after the bookings open on the Friday. I'm not sort of driving up hype here or exaggerating for the sake of high bookings, but popular stuff books fast. We have 1,600 students in the division altogether, and most courses have a maximum capacity of around 25. So if you want to book something, try and do it soon after midday UK time on the Friday of North Week as possible. If you try to book it and it's fully booked, you will be added to a waiting list. And then we work through the waiting list on a first come, first serve basis if there's any cancellations. But book early is my recommendation. I think our record booking out time was about 26 minutes for a particularly popular methodology course. Most don't book quite that fast, but nevertheless, finger on button. And number 5 is we are offering this term 3 face-to-face walking meetups. We sat down and thought about what would it be nice to do to get people together and meet one another, meet us, get to know Oxford a bit better. And we thought, well, we could go to a cafe and drink coffee, or we could have a walk and show you some of the places and walks that we really like in Oxford. So we've booked 3 walks that involve either a coffee or a stop at a pub on the way. Optional, alcohol is not at all required or expected. All pubs in the UK offer hot drinks now, so there's hot drinks, cold drinks, and it will just be a really nice way to see a little bit more of the city, perhaps, maybe a different perspective than you've seen before, and to meet people from outside your department. So do have a look at those. And they're all places that are easily, we start from on or near the city centre, and then we'll go somewhere that's quite green, and then we'll come back. And Oxford is a rainy city. Excuse me. So come rain or shine, Amber and I will, Amber is my colleague who's a research development support officer. You'll have contact with her during your stay here. We'll be walking regardless. So feel free to come along and join us. Whatever the weather, we look forward to seeing you. And I'm going to sign off here because my coffee is getting worse, but I look forward to meeting you in person soon. Have a great time until then. Bye-bye for now.